Justin, you must be happy with what you just witnessed with Marcus Stoinis. He looked like he got through that pretty well.
Yeah, he looks good. It was a very good net session, actually. There's a bit of heat in there again, and it was very competitive, and that always brings the best out in Stoin, so he did a good job today. He's fit to go.
So if he's definitely in, that just leaves one spot then up for grabs, basically replacing Usman. Have you made a call yet on who'll come into the squad for him?
We're going to do that now, just after training. My gut feeling probably be Matthew Wade, like for Usman Khawaja at this stage. So, but we'll confirm that in the next hour or so.
When Matthew Wade into the squad and into the 11, have you kind of made a decision about that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matthew Wade is in the 11, or is
No. He's going to replace Usman Khawaja in the because we're allowed to have 15 in the squad. So he'll just come in as the official replacement for Usman Khawaja.
And I guess, Pete, in general, I guess maybe potentially being thrown into, a World Cup semi-final and the pressure, and Matthew Wade as well. Like, how confident are you that these guys can play in such a high-pressure situation, having been pretty fresh off?
Yeah, the advantage of Matthew Wade, he's played a lot of international cricket before. He's a really seasoned pro. He's played a lot of cricket. He's had an unbelievable 12 months or so in domestic cricket in Australia. He's just got 200s for Australia A. He's confident. He's a little baby, so he's pretty happy with life at the moment. And I think with his experience, if he plays, then we'll be confident he'll do a really good job for us.
So is it looming, Justin, like a direct showdown, Matthew Wade, Peter Handscomb? What are you weighing up between them at the moment?
Yeah, we're weighing up. I'll tell you the truth. Peter Handscomb will definitely play, 100%. Peter Handscomb will definitely play. So he deserves it. He was really stiff not to play to be on this tour. He was, we talked about it, you guys heard me say, he was so unlucky not to be in the initial squad after what he'd done to help us get to that point. So Peter will definitely play. He's in good form. He played well for Australia. He gives us that nice balance through the middle order. He's got great temperament. He plays the spin well. He's on top of his game. So Peter will definitely play.
Justin, I know you talked about this already at this World Cup, but can I ask you about the reception you're expecting from Steve Smith and Dave Warner to get here? Because it is very different at Edgbaston, isn't it, with a rowdy crowd? What are you expecting, and what are they expecting, I guess?
We're expecting to be up against a home crowd, England crowd at Edgbaston in a World Cup semi-final. So we've seen what to expect. So our guys have had a good crack at it the last 6 or 7 weeks. And for them, it'd be a good opportunity for them to get some hardening up, I suppose, before the Ashes as well. So, again, we know what we're going to expect, and there's literally nothing we can do about it. So we'll just get on with our business, and they've done a really good job of it. Both have done a good job of it so far. I think our team's done a good job of it so far. So we'll just get on with it and play.
Justin, yesterday morning you caused a little bit of interest with what you did on the outfield. Everybody without their shoes and socks, a bit of earthing. Could you explain what your thinking behind that was? 'Cause it seemed a bit different.
A bit of what was it called?
Was it called earthing? Is that what it is, or grounding?
Is it? I don't know what you call it. We just took our shoes and socks off and walked the lap of the oval because it's a nice thing to do. It's a nice place to be. Haydos and I used to do it just as a bit of a ritual before every test match, just because you can walk on the best grounds in the world with your shoes off. So there's nothing to it. It's just we walked the lap of the oval. We had a tough game against South Africa. It's just about staying as relaxed as possible. We know we're going to be up against it. England are a great team, and we've got to be at our best, and the best way to be at your best is to be nice and relaxed. I've learned that as a player. I know it as a coach. So I don't know what you call it. For me, it's just walking a lap of the oval with your shoes off. We could have done it with our shoes on, and no one would have said anything. So I wouldn't be reading too much into that. It feels good though. I should try it. It's a really nice feeling. Yeah.
Sorry, Justin, just at the back here. Mitchell Starc is obviously your leading wicket taker in this tournament. In the first innings of a match, he averages 41 with the ball. In the second innings, it's 12. So he obviously prefers bowling second innings. Have you got any theories why that might be? And does that also make the toss quite important for your attack as well as your batsmen?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't know that stat, but I know he's bowling well, and I know I wouldn't necessarily like to face him. So, but he's having a great tournament. He's got great rhythm. We saw it again. He bowled a lot of balls today, and I think he matches up really well. The left armers match up well against England. He's on top of his game. So, yeah, I again wouldn't be reading too much into that. I'm not sure actually. It's a good stat, probably a better stat for England than us, I reckon.
Sorry to backtrack. Just on selection, so can Matthew Wade still play, or is he only in the squad? Is there a position for him in the 11 potentially?
Well, he's in the squad. He's going to come into the squad. So, yeah, there's like everyone in the squad, there's potential for him to play, definitely.
So is Marcus Stoinis and Glenn Maxwell, are they certain to play?
Yeah, we'll pick our 11 and you'll see it at the toss, I reckon.
Just Stoinis obviously had the side strain last month and he's dipped off a little bit. He obviously trained really well today, but what gives you confidence that he's can perform at his absolute ultimate in a semi-final?
The last 7 months, we've got a group of players who have been together for the last 6 or 7 months. We've got to the World Cup semi-final. We've had a couple of little hiccups along the way, but those guys have done a great job for us to get us. We've seen they've been... Everyone in the squad's played their role and played a part of our success over the last, whether it's this tournament over the last few months. So that's where I get the confidence that they'll be good for the World Cup semi-final. Yeah.
Justin, is this a more relaxed group than what it was even 6 months ago? Like the way you're talking, the way the players have spoken for the last week and a half, they seem like they're very chilled and maybe not as stressed as other teams would be going into a World Cup semi-final.
Well, it depends what you compare it to. I mean, if you go back 12 months ago, there wasn't too much to be relaxed and chilled about in Australian cricket, was there? So, well, that's the truth. We went through a major crisis in our cricket. Didn't just affect our cricket, but it affected our country. So there wasn't too much to be relaxed about. We've had to work hard on being more humble in what we do and being focused on playing good cricket, but also being good people as well. So, and I know there'll be some English people who'll laugh about that, but it's actually true. We had to work hard on that, and it's a good bunch of players. They've had some you get more relaxed as you start playing better. It's the same individual as a team. So, yeah, maybe a bit more relaxed, but only on the back of playing good cricket and having had to work hard on that.
Justin, can you describe what quality, whether it's mental or technical or something like that, that differentiates this England side from the ones that you had such success against? Oh,
I think they've been together. I remember seeing David Willey actually, ironically in Perth he was over just starting with the Scorchers, and I said, "Oh mate, you guys are going unbelievable. What's happening?" He said, "Well, pretty much 4 years ago, the coach or the Straussy, whoever said, this is the squad we're going to take to the World Cup." So they've been but they've been together, haven't they, for 4 years, and with that, and that's, you go back to the question about being a more relaxed squad. You get to know each other and you enjoy each other's company. So that's one thing. They've got great continuity, England. They've obviously got unbelievable confidence because they've played so well for 3 or 4 years. They've obviously got a good game plan. And they've got a lot of very talented cricketers. I mean, so it's all those factors combined why they're the best team in the world at the moment. So, and we're aware of that. We know it's going to be a really tough game on Thursday, but we're looking forward to that as well. It's always nice England playing Australia, whether it's in the Ashes or in big games like this. So we're really looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun.
Justin, despite all those nice things you said about England, the fact remains that they have had the odd blip. They've lost a Champions Trophy semi-final, and Australia have played, I think, 6 World Cup semi-finals and progressed each time. So in terms of real pressure matches, where do you think that balance of kind of character and dealing with the pressure lies?
We'll find out on Thursday, I reckon. What's happened in the past, you can take lessons from the past, but this is a very different England team. I think they're they've been very successful. They obviously believe in each other and they're playing well. But maybe you guys can write about that on Thursday after the result. But we all have blips, there's no doubt, and I've maintained it from day one. England are going to be really hard to beat in this tournament. They had a couple of little blips, but they fought back really strongly. So, and that's what we expected to happen. But regardless of what happens Thursday, and I'm sure Trevor Bayliss and Owen are saying the same, regardless of what happens on Thursday, they would be very proud of what's happened the last 4 years. So they've been a benchmark side for the last 4 years.
Do you subscribe to a trait in Australian psyche or culture or anything that allows you to perform at these kind of pressure moments?
Well, they've all been different teams as well. I mean, we've got a very proud record. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the reason is for that, but come Thursday, I hope our boys bring out whatever that trait or traits might be.
You talk about being relaxed. It looked like a very relaxing happy birthday session going out there. Can you tell me about that? And can you confirm, is he son of Sauce or grandson of Swampy?
Well, it's a bit like it's not the first time we've walked around the oval with our shoes off. That's the truth. We've done it probably, 15 times and it's the same with Frankie sings the team song to everyone who has the birthday and gives it the 3 cheers. So it's just stuff we do in the team. It's probably seems a bit silly to most people around the world, but it's just what we do to keep the camaraderie up and keep the team spirit up and call it culture, whatever you like. It's just what we do, is look after each other. And it's funny watching the Loston, because I remember watching Mitchell and Sean on Ashes tours when they were the same age. So it's just a new generation of Marsh. And I see he bats left-handed as well. So if it was in England and it was EPL, we'd probably sign him up on a bit right now, I reckon. But yeah, no, it's nice to see the kids around. We've got a great bunch. And it's nice to have the families around. And yeah, it's a nice feeling in the group. That's what it is. And hopefully that helps us play good cricket as well.
Are there any bindies on the ground?
No, there's not actually. It was actually quite nice and it was a bit wet yesterday morning. There's no bindies. No.
Just you're talking about being relaxed and the attitude of the team, but are you adjusting the team to the fact that this is now a knockout stage and not a round robin? Yeah, well, it's a good question. I've had some really good messages from ex-players who have played the game, and they talk about. Yeah, look, it'll sound like a cliche. It's just another game of cricket. We actually have to focus on it like it's another game of cricket. We've got to stick to our process. We've got to stick to our game plans. And otherwise you get caught up in all the emotion of it and you start going away. You get distracted. But that's about mental toughness as well. That might get back to your question about why we've been successful. We had great players in the past who have been incredibly mentally strong. That's why they're great players. And the mentally strong players, the champions, stand up in big games. So we're lucky to have some really mentally strong players. So are England. So that's why it's going to be it should be such a great game. It should be a ripper of a game, I think. Two good teams. England, with all the history of the last few years, we've been coming good the last 12 months or so, 6 months ago. So it should be a great game. Should be a brilliant game. But the champions stand up in these big games. See who's got the best champions this one.
You've beaten England twice on this tour. The first was a warm-up, but still taken pretty seriously. Do those results have any relevance?
I think it'll be a very different wicket at Lords, Jonathan. I think that the Lords, there was a fair bit in it. We got put in, so we had to bat really hard in that first 15 overs or so. I honestly think it's going to be that close. The teams are that closely matched that there might be a little bit. But this time last year, England beat us 5-0. Is that relevant or not? Probably a bit different. Well, we have got a very different team. No, I don't think there's too much to take from those, except that on the day it was much more fun winning than losing.